right now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're on right now. Put those headphones
Walk
on.
straight in. This is how the pros do it,
This
right?
is it. We just hop on and be. Well, we try to be funny. Are you good, bud?
How are you? I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you. Got a new song out that's good. Another new song out that's
Thank you.
good. We played it the other day. People, they lined up outside the building, showing support for it.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Let me. It goes, hey now, oh now, oh now.
When the sun goes down, stars come out. It's like, can you feel
I did that too. Look at us.
Y'all felt that
Keith,
beat?
yeah. Keith and I are very similar musically.
Yes.
He's good at making it. I'm good at listening to it. It's cool.
You're good at making it too.
And the spell never ever coming down. Never coming down.
Where do you play this in your set?
We opened the show with it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I know that's important to you. Your set list.
Oh gosh, yeah. You know about that. And it changes, right?
Well, no, it's not about me. Like I don't talk about me because you're.
No,
the,
but I'm talking about you understand.
I
You
know,
what it is.
There's a flow. There's an ebb and flow. Even doing a show like this, you got to go up and you go down, but you can't stay down too long. You got to get back up.
Right.
Yeah, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what a set list is like, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, you're trying to read a room before you've gotten to the room. It's crazy.
Do you watch the people and go, ooh, maybe they're not feeling it tonight? You ever do that?
All the time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Come on, you do a show and people don't feel it.
Not so much not feeling it, just like this was not a good place for this song. This song could have been later.
What will you do then?
Change it the next night.
You will.
Yeah. But then it doesn't necessarily work. You know? At the end of the day, right, you just try and put on a really good show. That's what you try and do. Use whatever songs are going to do that. Bit of familiarity, bit of newness. My thing's always been like, don't put too many new songs back to back. Ideally, don't put 2 new songs back to back.
Do you ever do a show
Or
and go,
unknown songs.
Yeah, do you ever and go, oh man, maybe I should have played this hit that I forgot. Do you ever? Because you have so many hits, you can't play them all.
No, it's the good thing is changing them in and out on different nights.
So you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Slip one in.
If you is there a microphone you can go to and go, all right, boys, we're gonna switch it up, and tonight we're probably just gonna play Chumbawamba.
Yeah, yeah. Not so much the last bit, but yeah, definitely the first bit of that.
So, is there a special microphone you can go to and talk to your band?
Yeah.
What's that microphone called?
It's just over by the drum riser. Actually, it's on the keyboard riser now, with the little button on the bottom. I learned that from Chesney. Kenny was doing that. I don't know where he got it from, but you got to be able to talk to the band. Because, you know, everyone's in ears, so you can go over, hit the mic, press the button, talk to all them without anybody else hearing.
Tell me about this song, this new one here.
When the sun goes down, stars.
So I like from the beginning of it. I like it's like boom, chicka, bang. Is that shot?
Yeah,
That's
shy
right?
beatboxing, yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty. Whenever you're making the record and putting that in there, I mean, that's a kind of a progressive thing. Putting a beatbox into the beginning of a country song.
Well, my thing is that it's all rhythm. Everything's rhythm-based. I mean, however you paint that rhythmic picture, that's the only thing that's changing. But the foundation of it is groove. I mean, I grew up with Don Williams. That's, you know, Don Williams had that Texas stomp. That, you know, Waylon had it. It's all in there. Just paint the picture a bit different.
Come on, listen to this.
Taking shots with the night out.
How do you stay cool for like such a long period of time? Like, how are you still cool? I had like 6 months where I was cool and it ended for me. That was.
Nah, Bobby, come on now. I tell you what I loved playing in writing the song with Josh Kerr and Shy Carter and Jay Hart was just the organic fun that the song was written with, which you can feel it, you know. I mean, we had this cool little groove. There was a bass guitar. Grab the bass, start playing the bass, and then you start just jamming, and just sheer fun.
So you play the bass a lot. You play all the things.
Not all the things, no.
Well,
I play bass a little
you play
bit.
you play the big things that we see on. You play guitar. You play bass. I've seen you sit on drums and play drums. So you played a bit all the things. When you get in a studio, do you go, hey? What if we did it like this? Will you ever hop on the drums and be like, boom, boom,
Yeah, but I, you know, it'll be like, can you play it like this, but properly? You know, this is the gist of what I want, but now play it like a proper drummer, which I'm not. But yeah, paint the idea.
How's everything else going for you?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you?
I don't care.
You good?
Listen, I don't care
What's
about
happening,
me.
Bobby?
No, there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening with me.
You were
Been hearing about the baby box. That's happening.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you give him? New dad.
You figured out the sound machine, right? I heard that this morning. How's that working out?
Great. Yeah.
How did you get the idea for the sound machine?
Listeners,
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good bit of advice right there.
You ever read listeners' tweets, emails, fan club stuff? That influence you in any way?
It's a mixed bag. Like there's things I want to know as far as how to. My thing is like, what songs do you guys want to hear? That's like number one. So I try and get feedback from people leaving the gig.
Oh yeah.
We take a camera out.
You know what I like that you do? I like it when you leave a show and you shoot the video like after the show, and you're like, "Hey, we just finished the show. It was great.
Right.
Appreciate it. Modesto. You guys were awesome." And then you're like just chilling, but there's like cop cars behind you.
Right.
I want to get that cop
Well,
car.
they're in front these days.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, true.
That's a
Little
better place for
different.
them.
Switch it up. Hey, do you mind if I grab a call? You mind if I take a call?
Yeah, let's take
All
it.
Hello, you're on the air. Courtney in Delaware. You're talking to Keith Urban.
Oh my gosh. We just saw you in New York and Philly. You were awesome.
Thank you.
And my question is, what artist most influenced you in your music? I saw you last year at the Joe Walsh show, and you were just on the side, true fan. So I'm just curious what artist most influenced you in your music?
Well, it's that was a fun show with Joe, and I'm a huge Joe Walsh fan. So just watching him play guitar is epic for me. I mean, so many over the years, and it's constantly changing. I find just as many new artists that will make a record or record it, and I hear it and I love it, and that'll influence me, or I go and see somebody, live. But way too many diverse artists over the years, definitely.
What about right now? Like, what are you listening to now where you go, oh, this is cool. Like, I got a thing going here with this. You enjoy listening to it.
Oh, it's a mixed bag. There's that, what's her name, Lauren Daigle, who I just sort of discovered she's got a couple of new songs out. I'd never heard of her before, and I Shazammed a song and was like, oh, who's this? And love those two songs.
So you're always searching for the new stuff, too.
Well, no, not so much searching. I respond to something. Like I hear something somewhere, anywhere, a restaurant, wherever you hear music these days, everywhere. Right? Music's everywhere. At the movies, and I'm the guy Shazamming stuff, trying to go, who's this? What's this about? And then I immediately get the song, put it into my playlist, and make these big eclectic playlists. And then that's the stuff I take into the studio. That's the stuff I take in there to writing rooms as well. I go, I kind of like this, kind of like that.
How did the relationship with Julia Michaels start?
I first heard Issues.
So same thing, like you heard it, because I got issues.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, wow, this is a really great song.
Well, a friend of mine was involved in that whole thing, a record company guy, and he said, man, you got to check out this song by Julia Michaels. So I listened to it and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. It's so extraordinarily unique. Everything about it was unique. The song structure, the minimalism in the production, the lyricism, everything was just so fresh. Bask in the glory of all our problems, because we've got the kind of love it takes to solve them. Come on, it's fantastic.
And then you guys did Coming Home together.
Yeah, so I started Coming Home with this guy called J.R. Rodham, who's a great producer, songwriter, and then I brought in Nicole Gallion to work a little bit with me on fleshing out some of the lyric, and then brought Julia in to just run the ball the rest of the field.
Yeah, that Nicole Gallion, she wrote Tequila for Dan and Shay, is really one of the finest songwriters in Nashville
Yeah,
right
she's a
now.
great
Like,
writer.
fantastic, right?
Yeah, really good.
You know what I see too that you do? You bring fans up, and sometimes they'll play songs and stuff.
Right.
But really, do you already know they're good?
Never.
Never. 'Cause
Ever,
they
not
come
once.
up and they dominate, and I'm like, that's Keith's cousin, or so, that Keith brought up his nephew.
I can promise you, you will never find that out because it doesn't have. It's real. It's legit.
Have you ever brought up anyone that was terrible?
I've brought up people that, were not.
Like
yeah,
they want
not
the
very good.
guitar and they get the guitar, it's like, clang.
No, never had that.
Okay.
No, I've never had that. I've had people that weren't great singers.
And
Didn't know the song, just kind of wanted to get up there.
Oh.
But that's what I would
awkward.
do. I would be,
What if you make it on stage with Keith Urban and then you're like, oh gosh, I don't know the song?
I'll be okay with that because I got on stage with Keith Urban. Like
Okay.
that would be fun to do.
Yeah.
I got pulled up when I was younger. I did. I'm a big Better Than Ezra fan. I'm not
Oh,
sure,
right, yeah,
I'm not sure
yeah.
if you know who they are, but
Cool.
I sang with them, and I was pretty terrible. But I knew the words.
Right.
But for me, I just wanted to get on stage. That's
Yeah.
a lifetime thing,
Right.
man. Hey, what do you think?
And
of my
look at
chain?
you now,
Look
Bobby.
at me now. Look at my chain I'm wearing. What do you think about that?
What is that?
Well, so I said I wanted to be cool like Ryan Hurd and wear a chain, because
Right.
he wears the chain.
Like a necklace.
I'm not cool. I'm trying to do cool things. Be a
Yeah,
little
Ryan
cooler.
can wear anything and look cool.
But what are you saying about me?
Well, now you're telling me where the chain came
Yeah.
from.
Do I look cool?
You look like Bobby with the chain.
Okay. So that doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm testing it out right
What's your
now.
thing going on, Bobby?
Well, I've got it now. I feel like Bobby might start wearing bracelets like Keith because I'm noticing like legit. I feel are those diamond bracelets? It's like a tennis bracelet.
What?
You know, tennis bracelet is a diamond
Well, that's
bracelet.
just killed the whole vibe now, hasn't it? I'm
That's what
suddenly
they're called.
I'm seeing what's his name, Riggs from Battle of the Sexes. What's his name? Bobby Riggs, right? Yeah, crazy. I love that movie, by the way.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
Do you believe that real story, or do you believe that it was
it's maybe
or that it was-
jacked a little bit, maybe.
that it was maybe he had some gambling debts? Have you heard that? And
He's crazy though. After that film, I went down the YouTube rabbit hole to look at interviews with him. He's legit crazy. Yeah.
do you also subscribe to the theory that I do that for people who make really amazing creative things, to make these awesome nutty things, you kind of have to be nutty all the time in your real life too. Like you can't just be nutty in a select area of your life.
Yeah, certain artists, particularly. Yeah, absolutely.
Would you in your home life, are you a bit nutty? Does your family have to go?
I don't think so. You could ask my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's relative, isn't it? It really is. I mean, there's times she thinks I'm just completely eccentric, and I think I'm being completely normal. So,
You guys have an interesting dynamic because you're both in the creative space.
Right.
Do your kids want to be creative?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Sonny makes these iMovies, like edits them, puts them together. We got her this green sheet that she can make like a green screen thing and put things in the background, and she puts little films together. Now we just got her at this app where you can write scripts, so she's writing out these scripts.
Oh, wow,
The
she-
kids come over for play dates and they get roped into these films.
Oh, that's cute.
It's funny because you and Nicole are very high profile, but what I've been able to see a bit as you and I have forged a friendship over the years is that, and I don't think you'll mind me sharing this, is I was with you once and she calls on FaceTime and she's like, hey, I need you to pick up some groceries. And I was like, what is happening here?
Right.
Nicole Kimmon's calling Keith Urban and saying, hey, you need to pick up some groceries from the grocery store.
Right.
Like that's a normal everyday human being thing.
Yeah.
You guys are supposed to be like superstars.
We live in the burbs, and we're just, I mean, literally, because that's how we grew up. Even though she grew up in Sydney and I grew up in Brisbane, we grew up in the suburbs, and then I moved from there up to where we had a farm for maybe 7 years. So I had a mix of both, ways of being grown up, and I'm super comfortable in both.
Everything's good though?
Yeah,
You feel good?
yeah.
Let's see. Let me do one more call. Hey, you're on the air, Nikki in Massachusetts with Keith Urban.
Hi, Keith. I just wanted to know if you had a favorite place to play.
Massachusetts. On this tour, every place has been consistently good. But as far as, I think more so like a venue, and definitely the Ryman. I always cite that as probably the most magical place to play. And you've played it, Bobby. You know what it sounds like in there. It sounds amazing in there. So, I mean, as far as venue, definitely Ryman, my favorite.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks, Nikki.
Okay. Thank you, Keith.
You're playing in town tomorrow night in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And so you feel pressure with a home show at all? Or is it like, hey, I get to finally show off what I've been working on to everyone who hasn't come out to a show?
It's more just the excitement of seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, It's a large meet and greet.
I bet it is a large meet and greet. Do a lot of people hit you up? Do you ever and say, hey, I'm coming at the Nashville show. Can you get me in more so than anywhere else?
No. A lot of people just come. I'm always amazed when people go, oh, I'm coming to see your show. And I'm like, oh, cool. Do you need tickets? They go, no, I already got that. That always blows me away.
You going to Jay-Z and Beyonce tonight?
I'm not.
Oh, I'm not either.
Mm.
I thought maybe you'd be cool and go.
You were going to go to a concert a while back. Let's see. Someone was in town on a midweek show.
And it didn't go. It was Ben Folds.
That's right.
Oh, and cake.
I love Ben Folds
Yeah,
too. I just
yeah.
couldn't do it on a weeknight.
I did some engineering for him.
What do you mean?
So when Ben this is in the early 90s, and I was living in this, squalor house. Somehow I got to know Ben through my manager. And this was in 1992. And Ben was writing songs over here at one of the publishing companies, Sony Tree, I think. And they used to give him the studio late at night to record his demos. And he called me up like 11 o'clock one night. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, just hanging out. He goes, you come down and press some knobs for me because I need to. And so I got my car, drove down. And he went out, and I watched him. He goes, okay, hit record. So hit record, and he played the drums, beginning to end, stops, fills, the whole thing. I'm like, what is going on? And he went and grabbed the bass, then he added the bass, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then he did piano, and then guitar, and I watched him build this track from the ground up, and it was amazing.
Do you know him still?
A little bit. I haven't seen him in a while,
Tell him I said what up. I can't. I can't get him.
but he's insanely talented.
I know. That's why he won't talk
Yeah,
to me.
right.
That's why I'm surprised that you do.
Nah.
You know, there's always a limit. Okay, so Graffiti U tour. If you're listening, how long is that on the road? How long are you guys doing that?
Till November 3rd.
Oh, you still got a bit to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so go check out the show. I saw the Instagram with you playing Marin's song before you went on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're. If you hear this song, it means you're about to come out.
We're about to come out. I chose it because, well, because I love Marin, but also lyrically, that's kind of what I'm asking the audience to do.
Meet you in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Musically, just meet us in the middle, and here we go.
So go see Graffiti U. I'm gonna play Keith's new song now. It's called "Never Coming Down." It is a jam. Played it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. All these days get mixed up, but I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love this
Thanks,
song.
Bobby.
It's track 2 on the record, right?
Track 2, yeah, Coming Home Opens.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, and this will be the first song you play is out on the road, and good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
Always good.
Likewise.
Never Coming Down from Keith Urban here on the Bobby Bones Show.
Somebody